Home Alone wasn't just a movie. It was a cultural phenomenon that defined childhoods for generations. The story of Kevin McAllister outsmarting bumbling burglars became a holiday tradition, filling living rooms with laughter every Christmas. But behind the slapstick humor and heartwarming moments, the real lives of the cast took dramatic turns no one could have predicted. For some, the film launched lifelong fame. For others, it became a curse, typecasting them, trapping them in the shadow of their iconic roles, or even contributing to personal downfalls. The glitter of Hollywood often hides darker stories. Battles with addiction, financial ruin, family betrayals, and untimely deaths. Home Alone's legacy is a bittersweet mix of joy and tragedy. Where child stars faced exploitation, beloved comedians succumbed to hidden demons, and reclusive actors vanished into obscurity. What happened to the faces we grew up laughing with? Why did some thrive while others collapsed under fame's weight? This is the untold story of Home Alone, the scandals, the comebacks, and the heartbreaking fates of its cast. From Macaulay Culkin's fight for freedom to John Candy's final days, from Joe Pesci's quiet escape to Robert Blossom's mysterious isolation, we're uncovering the truth behind the movie magic. Subscribe now as we reveal where these stars soared, struggled, and left us too soon. The question isn't just asterisk. Where are they now? Asterisk. It's asterisk. How did fame change them forever? Asterisk. At just 10 years old, Macaulay Culkin became the most famous child actor in the world overnight. His mischievous grin and clever traps as Kevin McAllister made him Hollywood's golden boy, earning him a then-record $4.5 million salary for Home Alone 2. But behind the scenes, his childhood was being stolen twice over, first by fame, then by his own parents. The dark side of Culkin's success emerged shockingly fast. His father, Kit, became his manager and allegedly squandered much of his $18 million childhood earnings, leading to a bitter legal battle that saw Macaulay emancipate himself at 14. The industry wrote him off as another child star casualty when he quit acting at 18, battling substance abuse and making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Yet in a twist worthy of one of Kevin's traps, Culkin engineered one of Hollywood's most unexpected comebacks. Now 44, he's reinvented himself as a podcast host and indie film actor, finally at peace with his past. His long-term relationship with actress Brenda Song and their 2 children represents the stable family life he never had. People thought Home Alone ruined me, Culkin recently reflected, but it gave me the means to escape when I needed to. His story remains the ultimate cautionary tale about child stardom, but with an ending happier than anyone predicted. Joe Pesci's portrayal of bumbling burglar Harry Lime made him an unlikely family favorite, but fans often forget this was the same actor who terrified audiences as Tommy DeVito in Goodfellas. The Oscar winner took the Home Alone role as a comedic palate cleanser between gangster films, never imagining it would become his most recognized character. Pesci's razor-sharp timing elevated Harry from simple villain to comic icon, though he reportedly hated wearing the bald cap and endured real pain when Culkin actually hit him with paint cans. That kid didn't pull his punches, Pesci later joked. Yet despite the film's massive success, he refused to be typecast, abruptly retiring from acting in 1999 to pursue a jazz singing career. The actor's personal life remained fiercely private. His 1988 divorce from Claudia Harrow turned ugly, with Harrow later convicted of hiring a hitman to kill Pesci's friend. Though he returned for The Irishman, 2019, Pesci mostly avoids Hollywood, spending his $50 million fortune on golf and his New Jersey estate. Now 81, Pesci represents the rare child actor. He started in vaudeville at 5, who survived fame on his own terms. His final word on Home Alone? It paid for my swimming pool. Daniel Stern's shrieking, bug-eyed performance as hapless burglar Marv Merchants should have made him a comedy legend. Yet instead of launching him to stardom, Home Alone ironically trapped Stern in a peculiar Hollywood purgatory, too recognizable for serious roles, yet never quite achieving leading man status. The 6 feet 4 inches actor brought surprising depth to what could have been a one-note villain, improvising much of Marv's childlike reactions. His famous okay, was unscripted. But after earning just $50,000 for the first film, Stern found himself typecast as the goofy giant, despite having trained at the prestigious Actors Studio. His directorial debut, Rookie of the Year, 1993, was overshadowed by constant Home Alone comparisons. Off-screen, Stern faced even harsher realities. The dot-com crash wiped out much of his savings, forcing him to sell his Malibu home. A very public 2012 IRS lien revealed he owed $738,000 in back taxes. "I was Marv in real life, constantly getting hit with financial paint cans," he later joked. Now 67, Stern has reinvented himself as a character actor in shows like For All Mankind and as the narrator of the Wonder Years reboot. His distinctive voice, once screaming in pain from tarantula bites, now brings warmth to documentaries and commercials. "People still shout Marv at me daily," Stern admits. "But I've made peace with being part of something that gave so much joy." His journey proves that in Hollywood, even getting hit in the face with an iron can become a strange blessing. John Hurd's portrayal of the exasperated but loving Father Peter McAllister should have been his big break. Instead, the Yale-trained actor found himself trapped in Hollywood's cruelest paradox, universally recognized but rarely celebrated. His $100,000 paycheck for Home Alone couldn't shield him from the personal demons that would derail his career. Behind the scenes, Hurd battled severe bipolar disorder and addiction. Once telling the New York Times, "Fame doesn't cure mental illness, it magnifies it." His 1996 divorce from actress Margot Kidder, Lois Lane from Superman, played out publicly, with Kidder later revealing both struggled with untreated mental health issues. Though Hurd gave acclaimed performances in The Sopranos and Shark, his reputation for unreliability grew. Tragedy struck in 2017 when Hurd died alone in a Palo Alto hotel room at 71. The coroner ruled it a heart attack, but friends insisted it was a broken heart. He'd been despondent over his fading career. His $3.5 million estate went largely to his two estranged children. In a cruel twist, Hurd's most famous role as the father who accidentally left his son behind became a metaphor for his life, always slightly out of frame when the family photo was taken. His final interview summed it up. "They remember the movie, but they don't remember me." John Candy's brief but unforgettable cameo as Polka King Gus Polinski in Home Alone showcased his genius for turning small roles into comic gold. His improvised Polka King of the Midwest backstory and deadpan delivery about leaving a child at a funeral home became instant classics. Yet behind the laughter, Candy was already battling the health issues that would cut his life tragically short. At 39, Candy was already Hollywood's most beloved gentle giant, but his relentless work ethic masked deepening problems. He filmed his Home Alone scenes in one exhausting 24-hour shoot between Only the Lonely and JFK Productions. Friends recalled him chain-smoking and relying on candy bars for energy, his weight ballooning to over 300 pounds. The actor's private generosity contrasted with his public struggles. He secretly paid hospital bills for fans and bought cars for crew members, even as his own production company teetered near bankruptcy. His final years saw professional disappointments. 1994's Wagons East was plagued by his declining health, with Candy needing oxygen between takes. Tragedy struck on March 4, 1994, when Candy died of a heart attack at just 43 during the film's editing. The industry mourned not just a comic legend, but the man who'd quietly donated millions to children's hospitals. His Home Alone co-star Macaulay Culkin later named his son in Candy's honor, ensuring the Polka King's legacy would play on. Robert Blossom's haunting portrayal of the misunderstood South Bend shovel slayer turned out to be one of Hollywood's strangest career codas. At 66, the Shakespearean-trained actor brought eerie gravitas to what could have been a throwaway role, making Marley's redemption arc the film's emotional core. Yet the man himself remained as enigmatic as his character. The The Chicago-born poet turned actor deliberately kept Hollywood at arm's length, refusing to watch Home Alone after its release. "I took the part to pay my property taxes," he later admitted. Crew members recalled Blossom spending breaks scribbling verse in leather-bound journals, once quipping, "This is the first film where my shovel gets more close-ups than I do." Blossom's post ** Home Alone * years saw him retreat completely. No agent, no interviews, just occasional stage work. When fans recognized him, he pretended to be a retired plumber. His 2011 obituary listed him simply as poet and carpenter, with no mention of his 50-plus film roles. The actor's final irony? The man who played cinema's most famous recluse died exactly as Marley might have, alone in his Massachusetts home at 87, leaving behind unpublished manuscripts and a single shovel propped by the door. His gravestone bears just 3 words: he was elsewhere. Catherine O'Hara's frantic mom performance in Home Alone, especially her legendary airport meltdown, should have typecast her forever. Instead, the improv genius turned Kate McAllister into a springboard for one of comedy's most remarkable second acts. The SCTV alum initially hesitated to take the role, fearing another shrieking mother stereotype, but she transformed the part through improvisation. The iconic head-slapping gesture was her idea. That creative spark became her trademark, leading to collaborations with Christopher Guest on cult classics like Best in Show. While the Home Alone kids struggled with fame, O'Hara quietly built an empire. Her 24-year marriage to production designer Bo Welch survived Hollywood's chaos, though she admits balancing motherhood with acting was like herding cats on caffeine. The industry nearly wrote her off at 50, until Schitt's Creek's Maura Rose earned her an Emmy at 66. Now 70, O'Hara represents the rare child actor. She started at 16, who outsmarted the system. Her secret? Never stop playing, she says, advice that turned Panic in Paris into comedy gold. Devin Ratray's sneering performance as Kevin's obnoxious older brother, Buzz, made him the character audiences love to hate. His deadpan delivery of "I'm gonna give you to the count of 10" remains one of the film's most quoted lines. But unlike his on-screen counterpart, the real Rattray face struggles far darker than a tarantula bite. After Home Alone, Ratray fell victim to Hollywood's cruelest child actor trap, typecasting as the bully. Despite strong performances in Nebraska, 2013, and Blue Ruin, 2013, casting directors couldn't see past Buzz. "I'd walk into auditions, and they'd just shout Kevin at me as a joke," he revealed. Off-screen, Ratray's life spiraled. A 2017 arrest for domestic violence. Charges were later dropped, and DUI made headlines. Friend described him as angry at the world during this period. The actor later admitted he'd struggled with alcohol and depression, resentful that his early success didn't translate to adult roles. Now 47, Ratray has quietly rebuilt his career through indie films and voice work. He's embraced his Home Alone legacy with self-deprecating humor, even selling Buzz's Jerky merchandise. His journey reflects Hollywood's harsh truth. Sometimes the actors playing bullies need the most protection. But it launched the most surprising second act of any Home Alone alum. While Big Brother Macaulay battled child star demons, young Kieran quietly plotted an escape route from family typecasting. The then 8-year-old improvised Fuller's nervous soda chugging, unaware he was auditioning for a lifetime of memes. "For years, strangers would offer me diapers or apple juice," he told The New Yorker. But unlike Macaulay, Kieran avoided the spotlight, taking selective indie film roles through his teens. His calculated patience paid off. At 39, Culkin won a Golden Globe for Succession's Roman Roy, a role that weaponized his childhood experience of wealthy family dysfunction. The irony wasn't lost on critics. The actor who once played Kevin's overlooked cousin had become the Culkin sibling critics called the real talent. Off-screen, Kieran maintains a fiercely private life with wife Jazz Charton. His relationship with Macaulay remains complicated. The brothers haven't worked together since 2000's The Dangerous Lives of Altar Boys. When asked about Fuller's legacy, Kieran shrugs. "That kid peed himself, so I could buy a nice couch." Brenda Fricker's haunting portrayal of the Central Park pigeon woman in Home Alone 2 became the film's unlikely emotional centerpiece. The Oscar winner, For My Left Foot, took what was written as a one-scene cameo and transformed it into a masterclass in silent acting. Her wordless reunion with Kevin reducing audiences to tears. Few realized the Dublin-born actress was channeling real grief. Her husband of 18 years had died suddenly 2 years earlier, and she'd considered retiring from acting. That role saved me. Fricker later confessed. For those weeks on set, I wasn't a widow. I was just a woman feeding birds. The aftermath proved bittersweet, though the film grossed $359 million. Fricker returned to small Irish theater productions, turning down Hollywood offers. They wanted me to play more bag ladies, she scoffed. A 2003 fall from her balcony left her with chronic pain, further limiting her work. Now 78 and living quietly in Dublin, Fricker has made peace with being remembered for That Bird Lady. Her final film role fittingly came in 2019's The Man Who Invented Christmas, as another kind-hearted stranger who changes a life. The legacy of Home Alone stretches far beyond its annual holiday broadcasts. Like the McAllisters' decorated Christmas tree, the film's history glitters with bright moments, but also holds hidden shadows, broken ornaments tucked carefully behind the twinkling lights. For every success story like Catherine O'Hara's graceful career evolution or Kieran Culkin's against-all-odds triumph, there exists a counterweight of tragedy: John Candy's silent laughter, John Hurd's lonely demise, Robert Blossom's poetic disappearance. The film became a looking glass reflecting Hollywood's cruel contradictions. It could mint overnight stars, yet trap them in amber. Generate vast fortunes while leaving some actors financially stranded. Create eternal childhood icons while stealing actual childhoods. The most poignant lesson emerges from comparing the fates. Macaulay Culkin and Devin Ratray, both thrust into fame as kids, took wildly different paths, proving that survival depends less on talent than on support systems. Brenda Fricker and Joe Pesci demonstrated how veterans can either embrace Pesci's pool or reject Fricker's retreat their pop culture immortality. And in the cases of Candy and Hurd, we see how the industry consumes even established stars when the cameras stop rolling. Yet the magic persists. 34 years later, new generations still cheer when Marv steps on those nails, gasp when Kevin realizes he's alone, and smile when the pigeon lady's face lights up. These moments endure precisely because they were real. The terror in Culkin's eyes when Pesci grabbed him. The child actor didn't know the attack was coming. The genuine pain in stern screams. Those paint cans really hurt. The unscripted joy when Blossom's Marley reunited with his granddaughter. As the credits roll on this retrospective, we're left with a bittersweet truth. Home Alone was never just a comedy. It was a time capsule of talent at crossroads, a snow globe shaken to reveal both glittering dreams and settling debris. The children who grew up with these actors now watch with adult eyes, seeing not just the traps and pranks, but the fragile humanity behind them. So, this holiday season, when you inevitably watch Kevin outsmart the Wet Bandits once more, listen closely during the quiet moments. In the spaces between laughter, you might hear the echoes of all these remarkable artists, some still with us, some gone too soon, all forever part of cinema history. Which story moved you most? Share your memories below and subscribe for more untold Hollywood sagas. After all, as a certain young philosopher once declared, "This is my house. I have to defend it." Final note. We've now reached the end of our journey through the lives of Home Alone's unforgettable cast. From Macaulay Culkin's child stardom to Joe Pesci's unexpected comedic turn. From John Candy's tragic passing to Catherine O'Hara's enduring brilliance. Each story reveals the complex reality behind Hollywood's glittering facade. These actors gave us timeless joy, but their real-life narratives remind us that fame is a double-edged sword, bringing both adoration and struggle. As you revisit Home Alone this holiday season, you'll see these performances with new eyes, appreciating not just the laughs, but the humanity behind them. Which actor's journey surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind your favorite films.